Hello traders, welcome to another trading interview, this time with one of our series FTMO traders, David from Toronto in Canada. Welcome, David.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks for having me.
Thank you too, and we are so happy having you on. And I'm really looking forward to get to know you today. And guys, for those who are listening us for the first time, FTMO is a proprietary trading company that actively search for trading talents. And therefore, we have developed a unique two-step evaluation process that consists of FTMO challenge and verification phase. And once you pass this two-step evaluation process, you will be offered a unique placement in our proprietary trading company where you can remotely manage your own FTMO account. And that is exactly why we have David here. Because Dave is a serious, really good trader who actually has right now one mastery account with $300,000, and he got a profit from previous period with more than 62K. And that's amazing result. So before we are going to talk about the strategy and how he made it, let's talk about who David is. Come on, man. Introduce yourself to us, please.
Of course, Peter. Thanks again for having me. It's a pleasure being here. So my name is David Abanawanda. I'm born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria. So I've been around the block. So I moved to South Africa when I was 17, and I spent 3 years there. And then I moved to North Wales, the UK. Yeah, to do a degree in I did a bachelor's degree in electronics engineering.
Wow.
It's funny because I actually don't remember anything about that degree now, but it was a lot of fun, and I made good friends. There. So fast forward to 2013, I moved to Canada. 4 years after I became a Canadian citizen, and I got married this year.
Wow.
To a wonderful woman.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
And why you didn't use your degree? Why you didn't do some practice with electrical engineering?
Well, Peter, I wasn't a great student.
But you finished, man. If you finished, you are a really good student for me.
What does it matter? Exactly. It was just about. Okay, so because I wasn't a great student, I never had that feeling of, I can become very successful professional wise. Mm-hmm. So I never grew up with that kind of mindset of I'm going to be a great professional manager or director at a bank or at an industrial firm. So I guess growing up or even after university, I was looking for something different. If it wasn't Forex, it would have been something else. Mm-hmm. But I just knew I wasn't going to be a great employee.
And why Forex?
Why Forex? It was what I knew at the time. A friend of mine told me about it long time ago. So I had that at the back of my mind. So when I was looking for something that I actually wanted to do, it was either Forex or real estate. So I wanted to do something, and I just picked up a book one time, and I was like, you know what? Let me see what this Forex thing is about. And that's where the journey started, Peter.
Wow. So when was that?
You mean what time?
What time?
It was 2013, 2020, okay, so like 8 years ago.
So 8 years ago you started.
Correct.
How many accounts have you blown from this point?
Oh, Peter, how long have you got?
I really like asking this question, because I always know the answer.
Oh my God, Peter. It's not true. I remember, okay, so this is what happened. So 2013, I spent a lot of time on baby pips because I just moved to Canada at the time. I didn't have any money to trade with. So I was just on baby pips learning about, the markets. And 2014 January was when I saved up my first $1,000. Okay. And I saved up the money, and I was like, okay, I've been doing baby pips all this while. Maybe I should actually learn how to actually trade, since now I have the money to fund the account. And I funded the account, and at the same time, I opened a demo account. And I remember the first trade that I entered, I was $400 in profits, and I thought, yes, I got it. I'm going to be a millionaire by the end of the year. I'm not even kidding. I thought that. I was like, this is easy. And then, yes, as you can
Gambler.
imagine, yes, that account went so fast, so fast. I don't even remember how quickly. And then what happened was, because I didn't have any money to fund the account with, I went on a demo account. And I remember from October 2014 to December, I was actually profitable on the demo account, right? And I had a good job. I got a good job at the time, and I was able to save up $10,000 alongside. It wasn't all my money. Some of it was my friend's money and my wife's money now. Yeah, so I blew that too. And that's
okay. Now I'm interested much more. So what does your wife said?
Oh no, I'm surprised she married me. She stayed that long. So I guess she saw something. But that was when I actually started blowing account on a big scale. That was a start.
It was not your money, so let's blow that up.
Actually, most of it was mine, but yeah, some of it was not.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So what a rough start.
At the worst, it was a rough start, and that was just a start, Peter. I remember there was a time I lost 100,000 in a day. So that was
100,000.
Yes, that was my worst.
How many lots have you opened?
It was okay. So I had this crazy idea that I was going to double my money in every trade up to $1 million. Yes, I thought it was possible. I did it all the way to $100,000. I woke up the next. Actually, I had $110,000 in the account. Myself and the wife, we had planned a vacation to Mexico at the time, and I'd withdrawn $10,000 out of it because we're gonna have a beautiful vacation, right? And I woke up the next morning, Peter, and I blew it. I had to call the broker. I was like, cancel the $10,000 because I need it. And of course, I blew that too. But like it's part of the journey. Everyone will have the journey that would take. Some people that get it in a year. Some people take them a long time. That's why I tell people, do not compare your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 10. It's a different journey. When you see stuff on Instagram, you might feel like, oh no, I need to get it fast. But yes, there is a process that you have to follow. Yeah. It was a process, Peter. I was at the deep ends, but luckily I was able to claw back.
And if you compare this period of when you've been starting and right now, what is the biggest knowledge that you gain?
Well, a lot of things. It's a process. First of all, the journey to become a winning. So this is what I tell people. I'm like, if you want to become a winning trader, you have to do what winning traders do, right? It's like you want to have a great body, but you eat KFC every day. So it's like everything that I was doing at the time was what losing traders do. I would bet the farm. I would not have stop losses. My risk to reward was very poor discipline. I didn't have a plan. It wasn't back tested. So all this kind of stuff was what I did. And it was just, you just end up in a cycle of doom. So that was what I did in the past. And that's what I had to bridge that gap between the behavior of what I was doing and the behavior I needed to do to become very profitable.
And how about the learning process? Have you been learning by practicing, or did you start with one strategy and that didn't work out, so you tried another one? Or how was the process?
You know what? It was a process of, it was mainly like that. It was mainly you start a strategy, you get profit, and then you take 2 or 3 losses, and then you decide to change it, and it's just that cycle again, that cycle of doom. But Peter, it's not about the strategy, as I'm sure you know that at this point. I could have been very profitable in my second year of trading, because an edge is just basically 20% of your trading plan. Peter, if I can flip a coin and make 20 times the amount that I risk, I would flip a coin every time to take the trade, right? So it's about your risk to reward, your discipline, and your risk management. So you don't want to risk more than 1 to 2% of your account, because you want to give yourself 100 times or 100 chances to be wrong. And if you have a high risk to reward ratio, you just need to be right 20% of the time,
At least.
and then you can hit it big. Yeah.
Exactly. I have I don't know 10 risk reward ratio. Okay, so you don't need big win rate, right? You just need 20.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And I think that's a little mistake a lot of traders do, including myself in the past, where you want to make 1,000% a month, right? So like the
Gambler.
best, again, exactly. You know, you have the best investor of our time right now, Warren Buffett, like is making 20% a year,
Yes.
you know, maximum.
Even he cannot make it.
Exactly. But we all want to make $1 million in a month, and that's why most traders fail.
And then you have some, guys who invested in Dogecoin, and now, they have like thousands of percent, and everybody wants to have also. But that's just pure luck. That's not trading.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Yep.
I can talk about this for so long. I had friends telling me to buy Bitcoin when it was 58,000, and I was like, "How do I buy Bitcoin at 58,000? Doesn't make sense."
Yes.
Like if I want to buy and hold, I want to buy when it's pretty low.
Correct. I for example have some Bitcoin, but I bought like only like 0.0001.
Oh my God!
After
You're one of those people.
It was no, but it was like 2014. So right now I have like, I don't know, 5,000%, but
oh my God,
in dollars it's like only 12. So
that's funny.
That's
so you just invested it. Yeah.
It was just fun when I was young, let's buy for 1 Czech crown, just really small amount, and then, that happened. Who would have expected it?
Or you need to go on YouTube and tell people you made 5,000%. You can make a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I really like it. So let's now check your strategy and show me how do you execute your trades. Do you trade on MetaTrader 4?
I execute my trade on MetaTrader 4, but I do my analysis on TradingView.
Okay, cool. So you're executing the trades there, and then you are watching the TradingView. Cool. Can you show me?
All right. So yes, here is the TradingView. So I trade 2 pairs. I trade the pound USD and then the pound yen. I'm sure we're going to get into why I only trade 2 pairs. But this was the last profitable trade that I found. It was July 16. So I'm just going to share with you why I took that trade and the process behind it. So this was the daily chart. So I start with the daily chart. I try to figure out what my directional buyers for the day is, if I'm going to be a buyer, or if I'm going to be a seller. So on this day in particular, we have price breaking structure, breaking out of this support zone at this point. So on this day, of course, I'm thinking I want to be a seller. So what I do now, my trading time is between 2 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock EST, right? Eastern Standard Time, right? So I'm waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning and just before London session kicks in. And there's a key thing that I look for. I want price to open higher. So basically I want price to push higher into the previous highs and lows. So the key thing on my strategy is basically I want to buy at the low of the day and I want to sell at the high of the day, because that's where the liquidity is. Because we know how the big players, the banks, the hedge funds, they want to target the highs and the lows to execute their positions, right? So I feel like to be able to get a high win rate, high risk to reward ratio, targeting the highs and the lows gives me the best chance of that. So I want price to open higher to a previous 4-hour resistance zone. And once price touches that on the 4 hours, I'm going to the 1 hour or the 45 minutes to look for a setup there. Okay. So we see it's perfect. Yes, it's a perfect textbook example. Price goes up here to this zone, takes out the previous stops on this zone, but that's perfect. But go on.
It's tested, I see.
So it tests it and then prints a beautiful candle at 8 o'clock, right? So that's when I take the trade with a 1 candle stop loss, and I aim for a 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio on my trade.
And why you didn't open the trade before? Because I'm seeing the 1 candle that been tested again below that one.
This candle here. So I did not like the candle. This wasn't a bearish candle at the test of this candle, so I wanted it to be a bearish candle. This is still a bullish candle. I understand that this candle was a sell, but I can't remember exactly if I took this trade or not. But if I did, it would have just hit my stop loss and I would have moved on. But I can't remember if I did or not. But if I had taken this trade, it would have been like this, and it would have hit my stop loss, and then I would try again. And
yep.
I'll try the second time and it would have worked.
I just asked because it's just not about the support beak, but you have to use the price action. You have to see the candles. How does it look? It's bearish or bullish, right?
Excellent, exactly, spot on there. So this was a bullish candle. I was waiting for a confirmation, and this was a perfect confirmation. A bearish candle, pin bar, and it was a perfect trade. So this is what I look for every day. That I come into the market. So I want price to push higher. Basically, the first two candles in the day, I want it to be at the opposite direction that I plan to go. And if it goes to test a 4-hour support resistance level, I'm betting that that's the high all over the day.
And you are probably not opening too many trades, right? It's just
no. Correct. Yeah, I open one trade at a time, and I give myself a maximum of 2 trades per pair. So I trade just 2 pairs. So at least that way, I know for sure how much the maximum loss that I'm going to take for the day. So if I'm risking 1% per trade, and I know that the maximum loss I'm going to take on each pair is 2 trades. So I know I'm going to risk in a maximum of 2% for the day, for a total of maximum of 4%. So at least that way, I'm more in control of how much I risk.
So you only risk for 2 trades per one instrument, GBP USD or GBP JPY.
Correct. So and 80% of the time, I'm only entering one. So basically, 80% of the time, just one of them provides an opportunity. So there's a 20% period where I enter both trades at the same time, which makes my risk 2% at a time.
So it can happen that you will open 4 trades per day.
Correct. It can happen. Correct.
But it is not usual, right?
It's not usual. The maximum trades that I've entered, when I say the maximum trade, the maximum losses I've entered is I've taken is three losses in a day. And usually when I take a profitable trades, I'm out. I don't take any trades again for that day.
And you have said you also trade the GBP GBP JPY, right?
Correct.
So how do you do with the extreme volatility? Because with the GBP JPY, it's pretty normal to move 150 or 200 pips a day. So
exactly,
it's not for the beginners. So how do you develop your strategy around that?
Oh, like it's for me, I love volatility is beautiful. Volatility is a friend. I mean, if you don't, except you're starting out and you don't understand volatility, leverage, whatever, it could be a curse. But volatility, we love volatility. So for me, targeting the highs and the low of the days, that's where you find the best volatility, in my opinion. And that's where I target. I put my stop loss in place. And many times it hits my take profit. We're talking about 1 to 5 risk to reward. It hits it in a day. So I love volatility. Bring it on.
Yeah, more. Okay.
Yeah.
And what more? What strategy you use?
That's basically it. Simple. And yeah, that's basically what I do every morning. I want price to open higher or lower. Go to a support and resistance zone. Give me a good candle. Not maximum of 20 pips stop loss. If it's more than that, I'll set an entry, and I'll take it from there.
Okay. Nice.
So that's the thing. It's really not about exactly. And that's the point I made earlier, where it's not about technical analysis, because everyone knows how to trade. I don't know if you read this. There was a study done by FXCM. They analyzed 42 million trades of their clients, and majority of them their profit was 50 or 60% of the time. Okay. But 90% of them still lose. Right? So everyone knows how to trade. Every strategy works, right? Because it's not really about the strategy. It's just about finding an edge on how you can how you can make money. I tell people risk to reward, you want to make sure it's more than 1 to 3. I know a lot of people are less, but for beginners, I tell them you want to make sure if you want to have a chance in this game, you need to have a risk to reward of 1 to 3. And it doesn't matter what your strategy is, you'll come out very successful.
Yep. But you have to know that if you have the strategy, for example, like we said, 20% win rate, it can happen that you will have, I don't know, 20 or 25 consecutive losses in a row. So that's really hard to take.
I agree with you. And I guess that's where the psychology comes into place, right?
Yep.
Like you have to be able to deal with those losers, because again, if you have a strategy that just gives you 20% of the time, you have to be ready to take. If you take 100 trades, you have to be ready to be wrong 80 times, right? So it's not a lot of people can do that, but it's all about the journey to becoming a successful trader. That's what you have to do if you really want to get there.
And do you remember how many consecutive losses have you in a row in your right now strategy?
In my strategy, I have had a consecutive loss of maybe 5, 6 trades, 6 consecutive losses.
And what did you tell yourself after that?
What I tell myself, I'm experienced now. So it's just something where you have to keep taking it.
Yep.
It's a game of probability, right? You have to keep taking it.
Yes.
And then every day you keep taking those losses, because one day, and that's the day you think you're not even going to get it, and that's the trade is just going to work perfectly.
Yep. Cool. Nice. And can you tell me why just only 2 pairs?
The reason is because I can manage my risk. It's all about risk management. So risking 2 pairs, at least I can control the amount of risk that I take in the trade and give myself a good number of time to be wrong, which I think is true. If I'm wrong 2 times, I think it's a good try for the day, right? But if I'm trading 4 pairs, 5 pairs, I have to probably divide my risk to be able to trade those pairs, and then that's not good for your psychology as well. Just your focus is divided amongst all these pairs, so it's good for me to be focused on those 2 pairs and then divide my risk accordingly, and it gives me the best chance to be profitable.
Great.
And also I'm trading the pound US and the pound yen, positively correlated, so it makes my decision easy for the day.
Yep.
Especially in getting determining what the direction of bias would be.
Logical and reasonable. Thank you for this. I really like this strategy.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's now take a look at our client area at FTMO, and let's see your statistics.
All right.
Nice.
So here we go.
So this was the curve. This is the famous curve of David when he had a profit with 62K. I really like it. I don't see some really big dips. So just tell me what happened in the beginning.
So what happened in the beginning is just, it's funny. When I did those challenges, it was good, right? And then I got the account, and I guess that's when I hit my losing streak. So it was a little bit wobbly, and then it took off. And that's what I talked. That's why the question that I asked, why you have to keep taking those trades. You have to keep taking it, because you're gonna hit those losing streak, on one day it's gonna become profitable. So I know that maybe in 10 trades I might do poorly, but in 100 trades I'll do great, and in 1,000 trades I'll do amazingly.
Cool. And can you summarize, for example, this whole period somehow?
So in terms of, so I don't understand the question.
In terms of, let's say, why was it so good?
The strategy?
Yeah.
Oh, why it was good? It's just basically why it was good. Consistency. I was consistent in my plan. I had a plan that I back tested, so I know that this plan is profitable, right? I just need to slap myself every day and like, David, don't do something stupid where you think this strategy doesn't work because you're taking a couple of losing trades. I have to be consistent in the trades that I take. I have to be consistent in the amount that I risk. I have to be consistent in my plan. And I tell my friend Daniel, I'm like, look, Like my strategy tells me to buy, I'm buying. I don't care. Like I tell him my thinking does not help me at all. So I just do what my strategy tells me to do, my plan. Right. So I just follow my plan every day to the letter. You know, like trading is like, it's like a performance sport. You have to, it's like a high performance activity. You have to be at your best every day, and you have to follow the rules and your process to the letter if you want to be successful, if you want to have a chance.
Yep. But it's not like you have to be best. I mean, the best one always win. But in this game, you cannot always win. So the best one is that he knows when to lose and he knows when to win.
Exactly. The best traders are the ones that follow their process to the letter.
Exactly.
That's it.
And can you tell me more? How do you use our client area here?
Like, how do I interpret? We have the maximum daily loss. It's honestly, it's great. I can imagine if when I started out trading, if I have this kind of trading objective, it probably wouldn't take me as long, and I probably wouldn't have taken as much beating in the market, because it makes your trading a little bit more objective, because you know, a lot of people are coming to trading. It's completely different from like the rules of society. You know, coming to trading, you can bet the farm. There's no rules in place.
Yep.
You can do whatever you want, and a lot of traders struggle to bridge that gap. So FTMO having this trading objective, it makes it more centered. There's rules in place that you have to follow, and it's, if you actually even apply that rule in your personal account, you will find that it gives you a great chance to be profitable, a great chance.
And would you modify those trading objectives, or they are like really good, solid trading objectives for you?
Oh, they're solid. They're absolutely solid. I know there are proprietary firms popping up here and there. Terrible objective. This is great. This is amazing.
Cool. Okay, so let's now take a look at your statistics below.
Sure.
Cool. So like you said, the average score ratio more than 1, of course, 1.72, and the win rate 55. That has to work.
Of course, and then it is the risk to reward is showing 1 to 5. But if I show you my profit, you will find that all my profits were made when I made a 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio.
Okay.
Right? So you can see the profits. This is alone is $60,000. So that's where I take my profit. The other ones, so you're gonna get 4 or 5. I get maybe 4 or 5 great trades in a month, and the other ones are just dots, right? So that's the idea that I was talking about.
And what about your biggest loss? Can you show us?
Of course.
Oh, so not again, much. Cool.
Right, just risking 1% of the account. Correct.
Yes. I really like it. Cool. And what about the statistics below in the instruments? When you are profitable most? So you are profitable most at 10 o'clock.
Honestly, I find that I am like sometimes I tell myself, should I just stop trading New York session, because there's no point, because the profitability is not a lot. I feel like it's negligible. But yes, most of my profits are in the London session.
Cool. And what about the 4 p.m. there? That's the only one which is like really big loss. You might think why?
I honestly, I guess it's that's the question I asked myself. Should I just stop trading the New York session because there's no point, right? But it's just again, it's a game of probability. It just turns out that my losses were in that hour. Maybe in the next month it will be at 10 o'clock.
Okay, cool. And you are also much of the shorter than the buyer. And yes, and you are also trading the GBP, USD, and GBP, JPY. Cool. Nice. So let's now check one last thing. Can we go to the equity simulator? And have you used this app?
No, I haven't.
This is an app that helps to show traders that if they stay consistent and disciplined with their actual strategy, they can have a lot of profit in the long term, in the long run, right? So you can put there the capital, $300,000 right now that you have. And you can use the win rate 55, which is right now your win rate. And the risk reward ratio was like 1.72. I believe. and you always risk, like you said, 1% or 2%. So let's put there 105.
Sorry, say that again.
1.5. Sorry.
1.5. Yep.
And let's have 47 iterations, because you had like 40. No, those are lines. Those are, let's say, probable lines of some mathematical equations. So you can put there only like 15 or 20. But those iterations there, you can put 47. It's below the capital. All right. And let's run that up. So I just wanted to show you that with your strategy, your maximum equity in the long run can be almost 500, but the lowest one is like 276K. So you will still be you will still not violate our trading objectives. And you can also take a look that it is totally normal to have consecutive losers of number 9 in your strategy, and that's probably it. What do you see yourself there? Do you think that you can make the 500,000?
Absolutely, of course. In trading, the only limitation you have is what you place in yourself. Anything is possible if you have the right skills and the right approach, and the right capital. Of course, anything is possible. So yes, I think that with a $400,000 account, then yes, I can hit those numbers. But again, it's just, it might not be every month. It's just basically what the market gives me for the month that I'll take.
And the 72K profit split was your first time profit in FTMO?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Correct.
And what about now?
So what about now in terms of
in actual account?
In my current account for the month?
Yes.
Oh yeah. In my current account for the month, I've got 2 losses. I'm 2 losses down. So it's cool. Not, yes, the market has not been my friend this past couple of days, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you very much for this analysis of your account. And let's go for the last part of our interview.
Of course.
So, where do you see yourself in like 2 years period from now?
In 2 years, of course, I still want to be in the markets. I want to be profitable. I want to be in good health. Hopefully I can take the portfolio manager's license in Canada, maybe to source for funds publicly. I want to give back. I'm doing some copy trading with my friends where I copy my trades to their account.
Okay.
So helping them stay profitable. So that's, I guess that's some way of giving back. Of course, grow my private account as well and just be profitable in general. And of course, with FTMO, just keep trading with you guys. Probably scale up, okay. And you guys have a good scaling plan. So if I can scale up, that'll be amazing as well.
Yeah, right now you are in a good path. So just keep it up, and in 4 months you can be scaled up. Cool.
Of course.
And do you have some enlightenment or guidance to our traders?
Oh yes, of course. I just want to tell new traders starting out that where you are right now to where you hope to be or where you're planning to be, it's a process. It's growth. You have to grow into that person. You have to pretty much become a different person, and it's a process, and it's not easy. It's hard. That's why a lot of people are not doing it. That's why a lot of people are failing at it. It's a process. You have to change your psychology. You have to change your habits. You have to change yourself. So it's not easy. Your body's going to fight against it, but you just have to be persistent. You have to keep it. You have to keep learning. You have to keep growing. You have to take your advice from people that know what they're doing, and listen. The market is going to beat you down. If you're starting now, you don't want to risk more than 0.5% of your account, because you want to give yourself at least 200 times to be wrong, because that's a good number of time for you to understand what you're doing. And even then, it's not straightforward. You're still going to experience the market hardship. Everyone pays their market tuition, right? So, but if you don't give up and you keep at it, if it's what you really want to do, if you think Forex, or trading in general is what it's going to give you, the wealth and the happiness and the security and the freedom that you want, never give up. And whatever happens, never forget that it's not over until you win.
Well, thank you very much. I think they will be happy for this guidance. And what did you
Of
say
course.
to our newcomers about FTMO?
No, FTMO is amazing. It's a great platform. $400,000 potentially. It's a great capitalization for traders out there. It allows you to scale up. You can become profitable in a huge way if you know what you're doing. So you just go to the drawing board, learn what you have to do, and FTMO is an amazing platform for you, of course. And even with the trading objective, I can imagine starting out, it would have been amazing for me. So I hope it's amazing for you too.
Wow, David. All right. Thank you very much. And I'm really
Well, it's my
grateful.
pleasure.
Thank you very much again. Really
It's
grateful
my
for having you.
pleasure.
Thanks. Thanks.
Of course. Of course.
And really grateful to having you on our FTMO interview. And I believe that this is another inspiration to our FTMO community. And I believe many among us will be amazed about your result and about your strategy and how do you use it. And remember, David, one special advice for you. Victory is not final and failure is not fatal. And it is the courage that keeps going and that counts. So remember that. And do you have any last words?
Well, never give up, guys. Keep learning and keep growing. And again, remember, it's not over until you win.
And that's FTMO.